I'm more excited than you. We've even got some Elvis sweat on this.
It doesn't smell, though, does it?
We looked at Pop Memorabilia a couple of weeks ago. We just touched on the surface because we had nothing to hand. Christie's have got a sale today. It's about 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Yep.
And what they've done, they've gathered together a whole load of very, very famous pop stars and rock stars' lyric sheets and clothing. I'll talk about a few of the items we've got here.
Okay.
This actually belonged to the king, so we've got to do a little bit of a bow.
As you can see from the collar here.
Yep. Elvis went through 3 style phases, you know, the 50s, the clean-cut look, the comeback tour in '68 with the leather gear, and of course, when he was slightly on the slide in the '70s, he went into these white 2-piece jumpsuits.
Yes.
This is
not necessarily advisable, really.
No.
If you're putting a few pounds on.
The great thing about, you know, buy from an auction is that you know the provenance. This comes with a letter from his bodyguard saying he wore it on and off stage in '72. And it was made specially for him, a very, very special item. And the estimate for this, wait for it, is between 12 and 15 thou.
12 and 15,000.
That's right.
That is an awful lot of money, isn't it? But they think it'll make that kind of
yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've been probably, you know, 6 to 7 maybe, who knows? But it's up in the air. You never know. That's the great thing about an auction.
Can we move on to this one? Because I'm very excited about this. This is, I mean, if anybody saw the Blonde Ambition tour, can only belong to one person, can't it?
Absolutely. This is Madonna's basque or corset. It's made out of a pink lycra with a sort of lovely top stitch on conical cups. You know, very, very familiar from the Gaultier bottle, because it's made by Jean-Paul Gaultier, favoured by Madonna. And amazing, this was found in a bag outside the venue in Barcelona in 1990. She wore it on stage and expressed herself. That was, the song she was singing. And, you know,
and it was just found outside the stadium.
She took it. The vendor, the original vendor, took it to the police station and, you know, said, "Look, I found some Madonna stuff," you know, and the police phoned, you know, Madonna's PR people, and they said, yeah, keep it. Madonna said she could keep it, and now she is.
It's amazing. So she didn't even want it back. I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it? I don't know if you can just see the, like the back of the basque is really, really beautiful. Look at the detail on that. You've just seen a photo of her wearing it, but it's beautifully made as well. How much is that going to sell for?
Very, very lucky find. More than the Elvis, surprisingly. Again, you know, 12 and 15k on that one. Yeah,
very nice.
That's the estimate. Estimate's always open to ups and downs.
OK, let's move on to this one. It's rather glitzy.
Belongs to one of the Rolling Stones, again, like Hendrix, like Jim Morrison, like Madonna and Elvis. Very, very collectible. Slightly less of an estimate on this, because it was worn on stage in '65, and it was given to a vendor in '72. So we're looking at, it's got lovely gold lame.
Yeah, it's beautifully made. Do you know who made it, or was it just
it doesn't say. I mean, it's a stage jacket.
Right.
But because it belonged to Keith Richards, not Mick Jagger, probably £600 to £800 estimate on that.
Right.
Again, like all the items, it can go up and it can go down.
OK, now you brought a few things in. These obviously aren't yours, unfortunately.
I wish they were. I will be there. I will be there.
But these are yours. Talk us through a few of these things that you've got.
How to get pop memorabilia if you're kicking off, starting out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people want to know, isn't it?
Correct.
How do you go about doing it?
I started off in the early 1990s. I bought this from a charity pub auction.
Yeah.
Galliano, one of the Talking Loud bands, signed, not worth that much, but on the make. I paid a couple of quid for it.
Right.
OK, so charity auctions, local.
Charity auctions.
Second, best of all, get a friend to get you something signed, or go and hustle somebody yourself. You can always write it and say, ask for a photograph to be signed, but sometimes their secretaries will sign it.
OK, let's just show let's hold it to that camera there so people can see.
Michael Jackson signed this. My old girlfriend was a mate of his. Amazing.
That's handy, isn't it?
Unfortunately, his cat weed. I can say that. Can't I?
Weed, you can say, yes.
On this one, it was left on the floor, and then.
All right, it says sorry about the cat.
Yeah, nice.
Love
thing.
Michael. Oh, that is nice.
I'm never going to put it up for auction because it's personal.
Yeah.
But Michael's up to changes in values recently, and then lastly, but by no means least, again at a Christie's sale in the early '90s, it was a charity auction. I bought a tie belonging to Neil Tennant from the Pet Shop Boys, and I also bought the hat belonging to Chris Lowe. Again, from the Pet Shop Boys.
Chris Lowe on there.
Featured on their Greatest Hits album, and you get a sign down with it.
Where did you buy that from?
I bought it at a charity auction.
Right.
It was a Christie's auction, so it was a bit more bona fide. And at the same auction, a guitar went for a couple $100 so I really felt out of maybe.
So people can pick things up that aren't too expensive.
That's right. That was 260 quid, which was, one week's take home. And something, which will go up in value through the years. All
right, James, we have to leave it there, unfortunately. I love that. I won't be bidding for it.
Can we have a little bow just before we go? Is that all right?
You can.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. No, he ain't nothing but a hound dog, but he can bark the weather detail. It's Jeff up on the roof.